Another weird like merch world that I've kind of dipped into is bandanas. So I noticed probably like 8 years ago, a bunch of my favorite artists were selling bandanas, like with their illustrations. So I was like, I think I could do that. So I kind of tried my hand at my first bandana, which was themed after my city. It had like little icons of like beer and bicycles and wildlife and music and things that we're known for. And from there, I got to do more and more. And I would just kind of like pitch it to clients like, if, hey, you want me to design some custom merch for you, we could do a bandana. And with the success of the one that was based on my city, I was like, well, what if I scaled this up to my state, to Washington State? What would that look like? So I came up with this idea of what I called the Evergreen Bandana Game. And it wasn't a game initially. Initially, it was just like a kind of a cool map of Washington State with a bunch of our like iconic creatures and wildlife like Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier, Puget Sound, things like that. But my business partner, who's a big gamer, was like, well, what if it was also a board game? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, it's got a grid, it's got art. Like, what if we made this art interactive? So we kind of come up with this simple rules, made it like a Chutes and Ladders, Candyland kind of combination, but it used a lot of inside jokes about Washington State and facts. It's like educational. We came up with some cool packaging, so it's cloth bag that can fit in your pocket. You can take it on a hike, camping trip. Everything's waterproof. So it seemed like a good idea, and so it also seemed like a really good idea for Kickstarter. So if you've never done any kind of creative project on Kickstarter, I recommend it. I've done like 5, I think now, and they've all been successful. But it's a great way to test the waters on, an idea that you might have. So we set our goal at $2,500, which was pretty modest. We ended up getting 25,000, which covered, 1,000 games getting made, basically. We came up with additional rewards, which was basically just like little pieces of the design pulled out into, again, little pieces of merch. One of which was this golden Bigfoot pin. I've just got random copies of things here. There it is. And this is one of the most popular pieces of merch I've ever made. I've reprinted probably like 1,000 of these things. And I see people like at restaurants wearing them. And I'm like, hey, I made your pin. Where'd you get it? And they're like, oh, someone gave it to me or whatever. And I don't have time to explain to them like, well, that's a character from a bandana. That's actually a board game. I'm happy you like it, because it's just one of those things that you can't really explain quickly. But able to pull little pieces of my own art, turn it into little pieces of merch. And to kind of spread the word, it's fun that we all kind of connected via Reddit, is that like, I like to share my work on Reddit. That's how I got invited to do this talk. And I don't like to spam people, but if it's something that I think that they would think is unique and that they would like, then I just kind of put a post up. So I put a post up on Seattle Reddit, which is like the biggest Pacific Northwest Reddit community. And it didn't get like 1 million likes or comments or anything, but someone from a TV show, a local news station, saw it and then was like, we'll do a story. And so that's something that I learned, is that like news stations use Reddit for leads for news stories. And so this has happened for me. Like, it's worked out for a few times. So whenever they aired this story, and they re-aired it like 4 times, I would like open my phone and I'm like, why do I have 90 emails? And I'm like, oh, they must have re-aired that story and I just sold, 90 more bandana games.